Folks, I've always liked Findlay, but I'm not here for the food or the fellowship because I'm going to have to leave. I'm here because it is serious. I've traveled to over 55 counties, and there's a very good chance I'm going to run for governor of the state of Ohio. I came to Ohio, in 1970. We used to come to Vermilion, Ohio on vacation when I was a kid. And I got to tell you, it was like going to Oz. My dad, my mom, my uncle, my aunt, my cousin, we would come to Ohio and go to this little place, Peck's Cottages up in Vermilion, and it was like we went to the promised land. The roads were fantastic, it was clean, it was exciting, it was growing. You think about Ohio back in those days, Toledo, big glass capital, Akron, rubber, Youngstown, steel, and I can remember that I would see that flame at night, you'd see that flame, I'd say, Daddy, what is that flame? He'd say, Johnny, that's not fire, that's money coming out of those stacks. You think about Columbus was jumping like crazy. We were the land of opportunity and we were the hope. Low taxes, common sense regulations, creating new jobs. We're dying today. We're in a death spiral today. We have some of the highest taxes in the country, 47th or 48th. Forbes magazine says if you're an entrepreneur, about the last place you want to go to start your business is right here in Ohio. You think about it, how many kids are getting their degrees and they say, I'm so excited, I'm going to Ohio to build my future. You know why they don't say it? Because there ain't anything going on. We have a death tax in the state that if you are a successful entrepreneur, you work for Marathon, you made some money, you got some resources, you know where you go? You move to Florida. I go down to Naples to visit my mother-in-law down there. I swear half of Ohio lives down there. And Jeb Bush told me one day, he said, you guys keep it up. You're doing great in Ohio. And I said, what do you mean, Jeb? He said, every rich, successful entrepreneur and businessman has moved to Florida. Keep it up, we want the rest of them. When you punish people with a death tax, and you have these income taxes on that are sky high and punishing as well, you're not going to have jobs in the state. We've lost 100,000 jobs since this guy's been governor. And on top of it, he's a caretaker. He listens to the labor. Labor tells him what to do in most cases. He doesn't favor choice or much individual freedom when it comes to our schools. He's imposing laws on private sector business people on prevailing wage, which is another nail in the coffin that seals our fate. I mean, he's a caretaker. He's a wonderful guy. I know. He's a wonderful guy. If you have a house on the Maumee River and it's going to flood, he'll show up with a box of donuts and some hot coffee. He'll hold your hand. We'll sing Kumbaya. We'll watch our house wash down the stream. But that's not what I'm interested in this state. The fact is that we've got regulators that spend their time trying to figure out how to kill jobs rather than to help us to have safe communities and create more jobs. We've got an education system along with the rest of the country. I was with a guy who was the chairman of the board of the University of Toledo, told me 58% of the kids that are coming into that school are on remedial programs. Now, we're not competing just with California and Texas. We're competing with China and India and Singapore and Vietnam. And let me tell you how they're doing. They're beating us in math and science and the basic skills. I go to the Silicon Valley. I've been out there and I know the guys that created Google. I've spent time with them. I remember when they drove to a dinner with me, they had inline skates on the top of their car, and today they're worth $15 billion a piece, okay? They did pretty well since the time I first saw them. But these guys came and they innovated. They created the Googles and the Yahoos and the PayPals and the value jobs, the knowledge jobs of the future. And if we don't get our kids educated in this country and push them to the top, you know where we're going to end up? Those jobs are going to be created somewhere else. And you think we're worried about our wealth walking out with high gas taxes? Just wait till they start creating the jobs over there, and it doesn't have to be. And this state doesn't have to die. But there's some significant things that have to be done. This state of Ohio needs to be reformed, it needs to be privatized, it needs to be upgraded and taken into the 21st century, because frankly, folks, I think it was created with a model in the early 20th century. It needs to be changed. It needs to be reformed. The income tax has to be phased out in this state. Now, there are going to be naysayers tell me it can't be done. I'm here to tell you it can be done, and I've looked at it. But no more business as usual, and no more lobbyists in charge. Secondly, the death tax has got to be killed first day out. We got to get rid of this thing so that people say, I'd like to keep my money, my innovation, my energy, my charitable giving in Findlay, not in Naples. We'd like to keep it right here and build a great economy. And they have a great legacy. We need to take a 2x4 to regulators who want to come in and harass us, okay? They work for us, we don't work for them. And usually you use a 2x4 and you deal with them the same way I'm told you deal with a mule. Just whack them up the head a couple times and then they get the message. We need more people who have business experience in the government to run the government more like a business so that we have a job-creating